Good evening. My name is Chaplain Matt Brantley, and I will be speaking on the fourth saying of Jesus. Please turn with me to Mark chapter 15 as I read verses 33 and 34. At noon, the sky became extremely dark. The darkness lasted 3 hours. At 3 o'clock, Jesus groaned out the depths, crying loudly, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you abandoned me? In these few moments, I want to talk from the thought, when a question forms in darkness. When a question forms in darkness. As a student, I remember sitting in class, listening to my classmates ask questions. As an adult, I have the fortunate, sometimes unfortunate, privilege of attending meetings while listening to people ask their questions. In both instances, there was a moment in the classroom and conference room when a question was asked, and I thought to myself, that sure was a dumb question. There were other times curiosity gripped me, and I hesitated to ask my question because I thought and didn't want to be perceived as having asked a dumb question. It was in reflection, however, that I was reminded of this. A dumb question is an unasked question, so don't be afraid to ask your questions. By asking questions, one doesn't have to carry the weight of regret for not making the effort to obtain information. My friend's life is full of questions, those that reside on the surface and others that dwell in the subconscious of our soul. To pose questions in the daylight of life is to acquire information to successfully accomplish the goals and tasks that are before us. But to pose questions in the darkness of life is to take an assessment, start an inquiry or an investigation of that which dwells so deeply within. The Bible says at noon, the sky became extremely dark. It didn't just get dark, but it got extremely dark. In the course of life, we know the sun rises and sets on humanity. And when the sun rises, there's an energy that fuels our day. But when darkness comes, our energy shifts, and as a result, it slows our pace. It doesn't matter what time it is in the day. Mark chapter 15, verse 33 tells us that it doesn't have to be evening time for it to be dark. It can be dark at noon, and our pace is not what it would be if there was light. Not only was it extremely dark, but the darkness lasted for 3 hours. When life is dark, time feels like eternity. And somebody might be wondering why this is. Well, I'm glad you were wondering. Time can feel like eternity because darkness has the ability to carry us into a well so deep that before we get to the bottom of the well, we would have questioned everything there is about us while picking up depression, picking up anxiety, low self-esteem, self-doubt, abandonment, fear, and anger to aid us in reaching the bottom of the well to face the point of no return. At 3 o'clock, Jesus groaned out the depths, his deep place, and cried loudly, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, that is, my God, why Have you abandoned me? Here he is, hanging on the cross, in the darkness of the day, asking not his Father, but his God, why he has abandoned him. Jesus, who was groaning from his depths, quotes Psalm 22:1. God, God, my God, why did you dump me miles from nowhere? Doubled up with pain, I called to God all the day long. No answer, nothing. I keep at it all night, tossing and turning. Can you remember when you called on God because you too felt you were dumped miles from nowhere, doubled with pain? You were having issues on the job and grew hopeful when you received orders to PCS. But now that a pandemic has ceased the day-to-day movement of our world, you find yourself in increasing darkness because there seems to be no horizon to its end. You've resided overseas for almost a year, away from loved ones. There's talk of the pandemic getting worse, but you press your way to see your loved ones, only to have to turn around and tell them, I won't make it to see you. In the darkness of the day, you feel dumped and doubled with pain, asking God, why? You call upon him day and night, not able to focus during the day while tossing and turning all night long. You fast and pray, yet still don't have an answer. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, my God, why have you abandoned me? What do you do with questions that form in darkness and God doesn't answer? What do you do with questions that form in darkness and the world around you has been mandated to practice social distance, and it seems that God himself has also become an active participant? What do you do with questions that form in darkness and crying loudly from the depths of your soul and no one comes to your rescue? Can I tell you that although Jesus quoted Psalm 22:1, he knew that Psalm 22 verse 4 was active in his darkness? Psalm 22 verse 24 says, he does not ignore those in trouble. He doesn't hide from them, but listens when they call out to him. My brothers and sisters, when questions form in darkness, you can rest assured that God is not ignoring you, but is listening to the things that concern you. When questions form in darkness, be not dismayed, whatever betide, because God will take care of you. Beneath his wings of love abide, God will take good care of you. When questions form in darkness, don't be afraid to ask those questions, knowing that although you may not get a response right then, if you hold on, the psalmist says that weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming. It's coming in the morning. When you know daybreak is coming, my friends, you can control the questions that form in darkness, and instead of asking, why have I been forsaken? You can ask, why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? And why should my heart feel lonely, longing for heaven and home. Like Jesus knew about Psalm 22, verse 24, you'll know when Jesus is my portion. A constant friend is he, because his eye is on the sparrow. And I know, no matter how dark it may seem, yes, I know that he is watching me. And because I know that he is watching me, I not only have questions that form in darkness, but now I got a song. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know that he watches me. My brothers and sisters, as we hang in the darkness of this pandemic, don't grow weary in asking questions. Remember, God doesn't hide or ignore those that are in trouble. Yet he's right there listening to those who call upon him. May God bless you, and may God keep you in the dark.